often takes a back seat to necessity, Sarah found herself at a crossroads. With her family facing financial ruin, she made a heart-wrenching decision to marry a man she barely knew. The man, Ethan, was charming and enigmatic, but Sarah had no idea that beneath his polished exterior lay a secret that would change her life forever. As she walked down the aisle, her heart was heavy with the weight of her family's struggles, but she hoped that this union would bring them the stability they desperately needed. Little did she know, the truth about Ethan's wealth and the life he led would unravel in ways she could never have imagined. What started as a sacrifice for her family would soon turn into a journey of self-discovery, love, and unexpected revelations. As the wedding bells rang, Sarah felt a mix of hope and trepidation, unaware that her life was about to take a dramatic turn. Would she find happiness in this unexpected marriage, or would the secrets lurking in the shadows threaten to tear her world apart? Sarah Thompson had always been the responsible one in her family. As the eldest daughter, she had taken on the role of caretaker, ensuring her younger siblings had everything they needed. But when her father lost his job and her mother fell ill, the weight of the world seemed to rest on her shoulders. Bills piled up and the threat of losing their home loomed large. Desperate times called for desperate measures, and Sarah found herself contemplating a decision that would change her life forever. Ethan Carter was a man of mystery. He was handsome, with dark hair and piercing blue eyes that seemed to hold secrets of their own. Sarah had met him at a charity event where he had been the guest of honor. He was charismatic and charming, effortlessly drawing people into his orbit. But Sarah had never imagined that he would propose to her just weeks after their first meeting. "Marry me, Sarah," he had said, his voice low and sincere. "I can help your family. I can give you everything you need." At first, she had hesitated. The idea of marrying a stranger felt foreign and frightening. But as she looked into Ethan's eyes, she saw a glimmer of hope. This was her chance to save her family. With a heavy heart, she agreed, knowing that her sacrifice could bring them the stability they desperately needed. The wedding day arrived, and Sarah stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her veil. She wore a simple yet elegant gown, but her heart was heavy. She felt a mix of excitement and dread. As she walked down the aisle, she caught glimpses of her family in the crowd, their faces filled with hope. This was for them, she reminded herself. Ethan stood at the altar, looking dashing in his tailored suit. He smiled at her, and for a moment, Sarah felt a flicker of warmth. Perhaps this could work. Perhaps love would grow in time. But as the ceremony progressed, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. After exchanging vows, they were pronounced husband and wife. The crowd erupted in applause, but Sarah felt a knot in her stomach. She had made a choice, and now she had to live with it. As they walked down the aisle together, hand in hand, she couldn't help but wonder what lay ahead. The reception was a lavish affair, filled with laughter, music, and dancing. Ethan was the perfect host, charming everyone with his wit and charisma. But as the night wore on, Sarah began to feel increasingly isolated. She was surrounded by people, yet she felt utterly alone. Ethan was busy mingling with guests, and Sarah found herself standing at the edge of the dance floor, watching as couples twirled and laughed. She felt like an outsider in her own life. The weight of her decision pressed down on her, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she had entered a world she didn't belong to. As the evening progressed, Sarah noticed a group of Ethan's friends whispering and glancing in her direction. She felt a pang of insecurity. Were they judging her? Did they know the truth about her marriage? "Sarah, come dance with me," Ethan called, pulling her from her thoughts. He took her hand and led her to the center of the dance floor. As they swayed to the music, she tried to focus on the moment, but her mind was racing. "Are you happy?" Ethan asked, his voice low. "Of course," she replied, forcing a smile. But deep down, she felt a sense of unease. As the night wore on, Sarah tried to shake off her unease. The reception was beautiful, filled with laughter and joy, but she felt like a stranger in her own life. Ethan was charming and attentive, but there was a distance between them that she couldn't quite bridge. She had agreed to this marriage to save her family, but she couldn't help but wonder if she had made a mistake. After the reception, they left for their honeymoon, a luxurious getaway to a private villa in the Caribbean. The moment they arrived, Sarah was struck by the beauty of the place. Crystal clear waters, white sandy beaches, and a stunning sunset painted the sky in hues of orange and pink. For a moment, she felt a flicker of excitement. Perhaps this was the fresh start she needed. Ethan was attentive and sweet during their first few days. He took her out for romantic dinners, planned adventurous excursions, and showered her with gifts. But as the days passed, Sarah began to notice strange things about him. He would receive phone calls late at night, speaking in hushed tones. When she asked about it, he would brush it off, saying it was work-related. "Don't worry, Sarah. I'll explain everything soon," he promised, but the vague reassurance did little to ease her mind. One evening, while Ethan was in the shower, Sarah decided to explore the villa. She wandered through the beautifully decorated rooms, admiring the artwork and furnishings. As she entered his study, she noticed a large desk covered in papers. Curiosity piqued, she began to sift through them. What she found left her breathless. The documents were financial statements, contracts, and business plans, each one revealing the extent of Ethan's wealth. He wasn't just a wealthy man, he was a billionaire with investments in various industries, from technology to real estate. But it wasn't just the money that shocked her. There were also papers detailing a charity foundation he had established, aimed at helping families in need. As she read through the documents, she felt a mix of admiration and confusion. Why hadn't he told her any of this? Just then, Ethan walked in, towel wrapped around his waist, and caught her in the act. "What are you doing?" he asked, his voice a mix of surprise and concern. "I was just looking around," she stammered, trying to hide the papers behind her back. Ethan's expression shifted, and for a moment she saw a flicker of something. Was it anger? "You shouldn't go through my things, Sarah. It's not appropriate." The tension in the room thickened, and Sarah felt her heart race. "I didn't mean to invade your privacy. I just wanted to understand you better." Ethan sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I know it's a lot to take in. I promise I'll explain everything, but right now, let's just enjoy our time together." Sarah nodded, but the unease lingered. As the days passed, she found herself torn between the man she was married to and the secrets he kept. She wanted to trust him, but the lack of transparency made it difficult. One night, as they sat on the beach watching the stars, Sarah decided to confront him. "Ethan, I need to know more about you. I feel like there's so much you're not telling me." He looked at her, his expression serious. "I promise, Sarah, I'll share everything with you soon. Just give me time." But time was something she was running out of. The more she learned about Ethan's wealth, the more questions she had. Why had he chosen to marry her? Was it truly to help her family, or was there another motive? As their honeymoon came to an end, Sarah felt a growing sense of dread. She had entered this marriage with the hope of saving her family, but now she was beginning to feel trapped in a web of secrets. Returning home, Sarah tried to settle into her new life as Ethan's wife. He showered her with gifts and attention, but the underlying tension remained. She felt like she was living in a fairy tale, but one that was slowly turning into a nightmare. One evening, while Ethan was out for a business meeting, Sarah decided to do some digging. She went through his belongings, searching for answers. In his closet, she found a hidden compartment in the back of a drawer. Inside were more documents. This time they were legal papers related to a previous marriage. Her heart sank as she read through the details. Ethan had been married before, and the divorce had been messy. There were allegations of infidelity and financial disputes. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. Had she become a pawn of a game she didn't fully understand? The weight of the revelation pressed down on her, and she felt a wave of nausea wash over her. When Ethan returned home, Sarah confronted him. "You lied to me, Ethan. You were married before and you didn't tell me." Her voice trembled with a mix of anger and betrayal. Ethan's expression shifted from surprise to concern. "Sarah, I can explain. It was a complicated situation, and I didn't want to burden you with my past." "Burden me? You think keeping secrets is protecting me?" She shot back, her heart racing. "What else are you hiding?" He took a deep breath, running a hand through his hair. "I didn't want to scare you away. I thought we could build something together before I revealed everything." "Build what? A life based on lies?" Sarah felt tears prick at her eyes. "I agreed to marry you to save my family, but now I feel like I'm losing myself in the process." Ethan stepped closer, his voice softening. "I never meant to hurt you. I thought if I could show you my world, you'd understand why I made the choices I did. I wanted to protect you from my past." "Protect me? Or control me?" she challenged, her voice rising. "I need to know the truth, Ethan. Who are you really?" He hesitated, and for a moment Sarah saw a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes. "I am a man who made mistakes, Sarah. I was young and foolish, and I let my wealth consume me. I thought marrying you would be a fresh start, a chance to do things right." "Right for whom?" she asked, her heart aching. "For you or for me?" Ethan looked away, and in that moment, Sarah realized that the man she had married was not the man she thought he was. The charming billionaire had a past that haunted him, and she was caught in the crossfire. "I need time to think," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. She turned away, feeling the weight of her decision crashing down on her. The next few days were filled with tension. Sarah felt like she was living in a fog, unsure of what to do next. She loved her family, and she had sacrificed so much for them, but at what cost? One evening, as she sat alone in their lavish living room, she received a phone call from her mother. "Sarah, we need to talk. Your father's health is declining, and we're struggling to keep up with the bills. We need your help." The words hit her like a punch to the gut. She had married Ethan to save her family, but now she felt more lost than ever. "I'm trying, Mom. I'm doing everything I can," she replied, her voice trembling. "Just be careful, sweetheart. We love you," her mother said before hanging up. As Sarah hung up the phone, she felt a surge of determination. She needed to take control of her life. She couldn't let Ethan's secrets dictate her future. That night, she made a decision. She would confront Ethan one last time and demand the truth. She needed to know if their marriage was built on a foundation of love or manipulation. When Ethan returned home, Sarah was waiting for him. "We need to talk," she said, her voice steady. "About what?" he asked, his expression guarded. "About us. About your past. I need to know everything, Ethan. No more secrets." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I've been trying to protect you, Sarah. I didn't want to scare you away." "Scare me away? You're already doing that by keeping me in the dark. I deserve to know who I married," she insisted. Ethan looked at her, his eyes filled with a mix of regret and determination. "Okay, I'll tell you everything." As they sat down together, Ethan began to share his story. He spoke of his previous marriage, the mistakes he had made, and the lessons he had learned. He revealed the pain of losing his first love and how it had shaped him into the man he was today. "I thought I could start fresh with you, Sarah. I thought I could be the man you needed," He admitted, his voice filled with emotion. "But I see now that I was wrong. I should have been honest from the beginning." Sarah listened intently, her heart aching for the man sitting before her. She could see the vulnerability in his eyes, the weight of his past pressing down on him, but she also felt a sense of betrayal. "You should have trusted me, Ethan. I could have handled the truth." "I know," he replied, his voice heavy with regret. "I thought I was protecting you, but I see now that I was only protecting myself. I didn't want to lose you before we even had a chance to build something real." Sarah felt a mix of emotions swirling within her. She wanted to believe him, to trust that the man sitting before her was genuine. But the scars of betrayal were deep, and she couldn't ignore the doubts that lingered in her mind. "Ethan, I need to know if you truly want this marriage, if you want me, or if I'm just a way to escape your past." Ethan reached for her hand, his grip firm yet gentle. "I want you, Sarah. I've never wanted anyone more. You're not just a way to escape. You're my future. I see a life with you, one filled with love and honesty. But I understand if you need time to process everything." Tears welled in Sarah's eyes as she searched his face for the truth. "I want to believe you, but I can't ignore the fact that I agreed to this marriage under false pretenses. I need to know that you're committed to being open with me from now on." "I promise," he said, his voice earnest. "No more secrets. I'll share everything with you, and together we can face whatever comes our way." As they sat together, the weight of their conversation hung in the air. Sarah felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. Perhaps this was the turning point they needed. Perhaps they could rebuild their relationship on a foundation of trust and honesty. But just as she began to feel optimistic, her phone buzzed on the table. It was a text from her mother, and as she read it, her heart sank. "Sarah, we need you to come home. Your father is in the hospital. It's serious." Panic surged through her. "Ethan, I have to go. My dad is in the hospital," she said, her voice trembling. "Let's go together," he offered, his expression shifting to concern. "I'll support you through this." "No, I need to handle this on my own," she replied, feeling a mix of fear and determination. "I'll call you when I know more." As she rushed out the door, Sarah felt a whirlwind of emotions. She was torn between her commitment to her family and her desire to make her marriage work. The uncertainty of her father's health weighed heavily on her heart, and she couldn't shake the feeling that her life was spiraling out of control. When Sarah arrived at the hospital, the sterile smell of antiseptic filled her nostrils, and the fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Her heart raced as she rushed to the waiting room where her mother sat, her face pale and drawn. "Mom!" Sarah exclaimed, wrapping her arms around her mother. "What happened?" Her mother's eyes were filled with tears. "Your father collapsed at work. The doctors are running tests, but they're worried about his heart." The news hit Sarah like a punch to the gut. She felt a wave of nausea wash over her. "I'm here now. We'll get through this together," she reassured her mother, though her own heart was heavy with fear. As they waited for news, Sarah's mind raced. She thought about Ethan and the promise he had made to be honest with her. She wanted to believe that they could build a life together, but the uncertainty of her father's health loomed large. Hours passed, and finally, a doctor emerged from the hallway. "Are you the family of Mr. Thompson?" he asked, looking at them with a serious expression. "Yes, that's my dad," Sarah replied, her heart pounding. "I'm afraid we have some concerning news. Your father has a serious heart condition, and we need to discuss treatment options," the doctor said, his tone grave. Sarah felt her world tilt on its axis. "What does that mean? Will he be okay?" she asked, her voice trembling. The doctor explained the situation, outlining the risks and the necessary procedures. As he spoke, Sarah felt a sense of helplessness wash over her. She had always been the one to hold her family together, but now she felt like she was losing control. After the doctor left, Sarah and her mother sat in silence, the weight of the news hanging heavily between them. "We need to be strong for your father," her mother said, wiping her tears. "He needs us now more than ever." "I know," Sarah replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'll do whatever it takes to help him." As the days passed, Sarah spent every moment at the hospital, supporting her father and helping her mother navigate the overwhelming emotions that came with her father's health crisis. The hospital became a second home, filled with the sounds of beeping machines and hushed conversations. Each day brought new challenges, but Sarah remained steadfast, determined to be the rock her family needed. During this time, Ethan reached out frequently, offering his support from a distance. He sent flowers, called to check in, and even arranged for meals to be delivered to her mother. But Sarah felt conflicted. While she appreciated his gestures, she couldn't shake the feeling that their relationship was still fragile. She needed to focus on her family, and the thought of returning to their complicated marriage felt daunting. One evening, after a long day at the hospital, Sarah received a text from Ethan. "I'm here for you, Sarah. Whenever you're ready, I'll be waiting." The message stirred something within her. She realized that despite the turmoil, Ethan genuinely cared for her. He had made mistakes, but he was also trying to change. As her father's condition stabilized, Sarah found a moment of clarity. She needed to confront her feelings and decide what she truly wanted. After a long day at the hospital, she finally mustered the courage to call Ethan. "Can we talk?" she asked, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "Of course. I'll come over," he replied, his tone warm and reassuring. When Ethan arrived, Sarah led him to the living room. The atmosphere was tense, but she felt a sense of determination. "I've been thinking a lot about us," she began, her heart racing. "About what it means to be married and what I need from you." Ethan nodded, his expression serious. "I'm ready to listen. I want to be the husband you deserve. I need honesty, Ethan. I need to know that I can trust you completely," she said, her voice firm. "I can't go back to a life of secrets." "I promise no more secrets," he replied, his eyes earnest. "I want to build a future with you, one that's based on trust and love. I've learned from my past, and I want to be better for you." As they talked, Sarah felt the walls she had built around her heart begin to crumble. She realized that while their marriage had started under unusual circumstances, it didn't have to define their future. They could create a new narrative together, one filled with honesty and understanding. "I want to give us a chance," she said, her voice softening. "But I need time. I need to heal from everything that's happened." Ethan reached for her hand, his grip warm and reassuring. "Take all the time you need. I'll be here waiting for you." In that moment, Sarah felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps they could navigate this journey together, learning from their pasts and building a future filled with love and trust. As the weeks passed, Sarah's father underwent treatment and the family rallied around him. The experience brought them closer together, and Sarah found strength in her family's resilience. She learned to appreciate the small moments, the laughter shared over hospital meals, the quiet conversations in the waiting room, and the love that bound them together. Ethan remained a constant presence in her life, respecting her need for space while also offering support. He would visit occasionally, bringing her favorite snacks and flowers, always ready to lend a listening ear. Slowly, Sarah began to open up to him, sharing her fears and dreams, and in return, he shared more about his life, his ambitions, and the lessons he had learned from his past. One evening, as they sat on the porch of her family home, watching the sunset, Sarah turned to Ethan. "I've realized that life is unpredictable. We can't control everything, but we can choose how we respond to it. Ethan nodded, his gaze steady. You're right. I want to be someone you can rely on, someone who supports you through thick and thin. I want that too, she replied, her heart swelling with emotion. I want to build a life with you, but it has to be built on trust and honesty. I promise, he said, his voice filled with sincerity. I'll do everything I can to earn your trust. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Sarah felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had faced her fears, confronted the truth, and emerged stronger. The journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to embrace it, hand in hand with Ethan. As Sarah and Ethan began to navigate their new relationship, they faced challenges, but they also found joy in the little things. They took walks together, shared meals, and spent time with her family, creating a bond that grew stronger with each passing day. Sarah realized that love was not just about grand gestures, it was about the everyday moments that built a life together. One afternoon, as they sat in the park watching children play and families enjoy picnics, Sarah turned to Ethan. You know, I've been thinking about how we can give back. Your charity foundation, maybe we could work on a project together. Ethan's eyes lit up. That's a great idea. I've always wanted to do more community outreach, but I've been so focused on my business. We could organize a fundraiser or a community event to help families in need, just like yours. Sarah felt a surge of excitement. Yes, we could involve local businesses, get the community engaged, and really make a difference. It would be a way for us to connect and show that we're committed to helping others. Ethan nodded enthusiastically. Let's start planning. We can brainstorm ideas and reach out to people who might want to help. As they began to discuss their plans, Sarah felt a renewed sense of purpose. This was more than just a project. It was a way to solidify their partnership and demonstrate their commitment to each other and their community. Over the next few weeks, they worked tirelessly to organize the event. They reached out to local businesses for sponsorships, enlisted volunteers, and spread the word through social media. The excitement in the community was palpable, and Sarah felt a sense of pride in what they were building together. On the day of the event, the park was filled with laughter, music, and the smell of delicious food. Families gathered to enjoy games, activities, and entertainment. Sarah and Ethan moved through the crowd, greeting people and sharing their vision for the future. As the sun began to set, they took a moment to step back and admire the scene. We did this, Sarah said, her heart swelling with joy. We brought the community together. Ethan smiled, wrapping his arm around her. And we did it together. This is just the beginning, Sarah. We can accomplish so much more. In that moment, Sarah realized that their journey was not just about overcoming obstacles. It was about creating a life filled with purpose and love. They had faced challenges, but they had also found strength in each other. As the event came to a close, Sarah took a deep breath, feeling a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had chosen to embrace her life, to take control of her destiny, and to build a future with Ethan, one that was rooted in trust, honesty, and a shared commitment to making a difference. As the evening drew to a close, Sarah and Ethan stood together watching the last of the guests leave the park. The laughter and joy of the day lingered in the air, and Sarah felt a sense of peace settle within her. Thank you for believing in us, she said softly, turning to Ethan. This day means more to me than you know. Ethan smiled, his eyes filled with warmth. I believe in us, Sarah. We've come so far, and I'm excited for what the future holds. With their hands intertwined, they walked away from the park, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. They had learned that love was not just about the perfect moments. It was about navigating the imperfect ones together. As they stepped into the future, Sarah felt a renewed sense of hope. She had chosen to embrace her life, her family, and her love for Ethan. Together, they would build a life filled with purpose, love, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. What if a single act of kindness could change your life forever? For one waitress, that's exactly what happened on an ordinary Tuesday morning. Meet Sarah, a hard-working waitress at Rosie's Diner, a beloved local spot known for its hearty breakfasts and friendly service. Every day, she pours her heart into her job, serving regulars and newcomers alike with a smile that could brighten the gloomiest of days. But behind that smile lies a story of struggle and resilience. Sarah is in her mid-20s, dressed in a classic diner uniform, and she expertly balances a tray laden with steaming plates of pancakes, eggs, and crispy bacon. As she navigates through the crowded diner, her heart races as she juggles multiple orders. Her eyes sparkle with enthusiasm, but there's a hint of weariness beneath her cheerful demeanor. She approaches a table of regulars, a group of elderly men who gather every morning for coffee and conversation. They greet her with warm smiles, and she responds with genuine affection. "Good morning, gentlemen. Ready for your usual?" she asks playfully. The men chuckle, nodding in agreement. Sarah takes their orders, her laughter mingling with theirs, creating a sense of camaraderie that fills the diner with warmth. Sarah has become a familiar face in the diner, known not just for her efficiency, but for her ability to connect with people. She remembers their names, their favorite meals, and even the little details about their lives. But as she serves them, her mind drifts to her own struggles, bills piling up, dreams feeling distant, and the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. Every day is a balancing act for Sarah. She dreams of a better life, one where she doesn't have to worry about making rent or choosing between groceries and utilities. Yet, despite the challenges, she holds on to hope, believing that kindness can make a difference, not just in her life, but in the lives of those around her. Little does she know, today will be different. Today, an unexpected encounter will set her on a path she never imagined. An ordinary Tuesday morning will become the turning point in her life, a moment that will remind her that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can lead to the most extraordinary changes. Meet Sarah, a hard-working waitress at a small diner in the heart of the city. Every day she juggles multiple tables, her hands deftly balancing trays filled with steaming coffee, fluffy pancakes, and crispy bacon. The diner, a cozy establishment with checkered tablecloths and a jukebox playing soft tunes in the background, is a second home to her. It's a place where laughter mingles with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, and the clatter of dishes creates a comforting symphony. Sarah has been working at Rosie's Diner for several years now, and she knows the regulars by name. There's Mr. Thompson, the retired school teacher who orders the same thing every morning: 2 eggs over easy and a side of toast. Then there's Mrs. Jenkins, a sweet old lady who loves to chat about her grandchildren while sipping her favorite chamomile tea. Sarah enjoys these interactions. They remind her that even in the hustle and bustle of life, there are moments of connection and warmth. But today, as she moves from table to table, her heart feels heavier than usual. She glances at her watch, a simple silver piece that has seen better days, and her stomach tightens with worry. Time is slipping away, and so are her hopes of making ends meet this month. Bills are piling up like the dirty dishes in the back, and the weight of financial stress looms over her like a dark cloud. Despite her cheerful demeanor, Sarah often wonders if she'll ever escape the cycle of poverty that seems to have a tight grip on her life. She dreams of a better future, one where she doesn't have to choose between paying rent and buying groceries. She envisions a life where she can pursue her passion for art, a dream she had to set aside when reality hit hard. But for now, her reality is the diner, and her canvas is the plates she serves. As she rushes to serve another table, she can't help but overhear snippets of conversations around her. A couple at the corner booth is discussing their upcoming vacation. their excitement palpable. A group of friends is laughing over shared memories, their joy infectious. Sarah smiles at them, but inside, she feels a pang of longing. She wishes she could be part of those carefree moments, but her responsibilities keep her anchored to the ground. Yet, amidst the chaos, Sarah never loses her smile. It's her armor against the world, a way to shield herself from the harsh realities of life. She believes that kindness can make a difference, not just for others, but for herself as well. Every time she serves a customer with a genuine smile or lends an ear to someone in need, she feels a flicker of hope. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found in human connection. As she approaches a table of regulars, her heart lifts. They greet her with warm smiles, and she feels a sense of belonging. "Good morning, gentlemen. Ready for your usual?" she asks playfully, her voice brightening the atmosphere. The men chuckle, nodding in agreement, and Sarah takes their orders, her laughter mingling with theirs. In these moments, she feels alive, as if the burdens of her life momentarily fade away. But as she moves on to the next table, her mind drifts back to her worries. The rent is due soon, and she's already behind on her payments. The thought of eviction sends a shiver down her spine. She can't bear the idea of losing her small apartment, the only place she can call home. It's where she has painted her dreams on the walls, where she has cried over her failures, and where she has found solace in her solitude. Sarah takes a deep breath, pushing her worries aside as she focuses on her customers. She knows that each interaction is an opportunity to spread a little joy, and that's what keeps her going. She pours coffee into mugs, serves plates with care, and listens to the stories of those who come through the diner's doors. Each smile she receives in return is a small victory, a reminder that she is making a difference, however small. As the morning rush continues, Sarah's energy begins to wane. She wipes her brow, feeling the heat of the kitchen behind her. The clattering of dishes and the sizzling of food create a familiar rhythm, but today it feels more overwhelming than usual. She glances at the clock again, her heart racing. Time is slipping away, and she can't shake the feeling that something is about to change. Little does she know today will be different. Today, an unexpected encounter will set her on a path she never imagined. An ordinary Tuesday morning will become the turning point in her. As Sarah moves through the bustling diner, her hands deftly balance a tray filled with steaming coffee and plates of fluffy pancakes. The familiar sounds of clinking cutlery and cheerful chatter surround her, creating a comforting atmosphere. But amidst the lively crowd, her eyes land on an elderly man sitting alone in a corner booth. He looks lost and forlorn, his expensive suit standing out starkly against the diner's humble decor. One day, while serving her regulars, Sarah notices an elderly man sitting alone in a corner booth. He looks out of place, his expensive suit contrasting sharply with the diner's cozy atmosphere. Despite her busy schedule, Sarah feels a pull to check on him. The man's gaze is fixed on the window, as if he's lost in a world of memories. His expression is one of deep contemplation, and for a moment, Sarah hesitates. She's used to the hustle and bustle of the diner, where every customer is a familiar face, but this man is different. There's a sadness in his eyes that tugs at her heartstrings. With a warm smile, Sarah approaches the old man, her notepad in hand, ready to take his order. "Sarah, good morning, sir. Can I get you anything?" He looks up, surprised by her kindness, as if he hadn't expected anyone to notice him. Old man, softly, "I'm just reminiscing about better days." His voice is tinged with nostalgia, and Sarah feels an immediate connection. Instead of rushing away, she takes a moment to sit down across from him, genuinely interested in what he has to say. Instead of rushing away, Sarah takes a moment to listen. They share stories, his life as a businessman, her struggles as a waitress. The connection is instant, and for the first time in a long while, The old man smiles. Sarah, curiously, better days? What do you mean? The old man's eyes light up as he begins to share his story. Old man, nostalgically. I used to own a successful restaurant chain, bustling with life and laughter. We had a place just like this, where people gathered to share stories over meals. But life took unexpected turns. Sarah leans in, captivated by his words. She can almost picture the vibrant restaurant he describes, filled with the sounds of laughter and the aroma of delicious food. Sarah, empathetically, what happened? Why did you stop? The old man sighs, his expression shifting from fondness to sorrow. Old man, I lost my wife a few years ago, and with her went my passion for the business. I sold everything and found myself wandering, searching for meaning in the memories of what once was. Sarah's heart aches for him. She understands loss all too well, having faced her own struggles. Sarah, softly, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's hard to keep going when you lose someone you love. The old man nods, his gaze returning to her. Old man, but you, my dear, you have a light in you. I can see it. You care about the people you serve, and that's a rare quality. It's what made my restaurants special, caring for the community. Sarah blushes at the compliment, feeling a flicker of hope ignite within her. Sarah, thank you. I try my best, but sometimes it feels like I'm just going through the motions, you know? I dream of something more, but it always feels out of reach. The old man leans forward, his eyes narrowing with interest. Old man, tell me about your dreams, Sarah. What do you want? She hesitates, the weight of her aspiration pressing down on her. Sarah, I've always wanted to open my own cafe, a place where people can come together, share stories, and enjoy good food, but I don't have the money or the experience. I'm just a waitress. The old man studies her for a moment, and then a smile spreads across his face. Old man, perhaps you're more than just a waitress. You have the heart of a restaurateur. You just need someone to believe in you. Sarah feels a rush of emotions, hope, fear, and excitement all swirling together. Sarah, I wish I could believe that. But how can I make, as their conversation deepens, the atmosphere in the diner feels charged with possibility. The old man's eyes glisten with a mix of nostalgia and admiration as he listens to Sarah share her dreams. She can feel the weight of his attention, and it encourages her to open up even more. As he prepares to leave, the old man pulls out a business card and hands it to Sarah. With a gentle smile, he reaches into his pocket and retrieves a crisp business card. The card is elegant, embossed with gold lettering that reads, Henry Caldwell, owner, Caldwell Restaurant Group. He extends it toward her, and Sarah's heart skips a beat. Old man, smiling. I own a chain of restaurants. I'd like to offer you a job as a manager. You have a gift for connecting with people. Sarah's eyes widen in disbelief, her heart racing as she processes his words. The bustling diner around her fades into the background, and all she can focus on is the card in his hand and the weight of his offer. Sarah, stammering, but I'm just a waitress. You saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. The old man's smile widens and he leans in closer, his voice steady and reassuring. Old man, sometimes we need someone to believe in us before we can believe in ourselves. I see potential in you, Sarah. You have a warmth and authenticity that people are drawn to. That's what makes a great manager. Sarah feels a rush of emotions, excitement, fear, and disbelief all swirling together. She glances down at the business card, her fingers trembling as she takes it from him. The card feels heavy with promise, and she can hardly believe what is happening. Sarah, are you serious? A manager? I've never managed anything before. I don't know if I'm ready for that. The old man nods, his expression earnest. Old man, everyone starts somewhere. I didn't know how to run a restaurant when I first opened mine. I learned through experience, And I believe you can do the same. You have the passion and the heart, and that's what matters most. Sarah's mind races as she considers the implications of his offer. This could be her chance to break free from the cycle of poverty that has held her captive for so long. But doubt creeps in, whispering that she isn't qualified, that she doesn't have what it takes. Sarah, but what if I fail? What if I can't do it? The old man leans back, a thoughtful expression on his face. Old man, failure is part of the journey. Every successful person has faced setbacks. What matters is how you respond to those setbacks. You can either let them defeat you or use them as stepping stones to grow stronger. His words resonate deeply with Sarah. She thinks about her own life, the struggles, the disappointments, and the moments when she felt like giving up. Sarah, I've faced a lot of challenges, but I've always managed to keep going. Maybe I can do this. The old man's eyes light up with encouragement. Old man, that's the spirit. You have to believe in yourself just as I believe in you. This is your opportunity to create something beautiful, to build a life that reflects your dreams. As they continue to talk, Sarah feels a sense of empowerment washing over her. The old man shares his experiences, recounting the challenges he faced when he first opened his restaurant. He talks about the late nights, the financial struggles, and the moments of doubt that almost made him give up. But through it all, he emphasizes the importance of perseverance and passion. Old man, remember, Sarah, every setback is a setup for a comeback. You will face challenges, but it's how you respond to them that will define your journey. Surround yourself with supportive people, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Sarah absorbs every word, her heart racing with excitement and determination. She feels invigorated, as if a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. For the first time in a long while, she believes that her dreams are within reach. Sarah, what do I need to do to get started? The old man leans forward, his expression serious. Old man, first you need a solid business plan. Outline your vision, your target market, and your budget. Then start saving money. I can help you with the connections you need to. With a mix of excitement and fear swirling in her chest, Sarah stands at the entrance of Caldwell's restaurant, the establishment owned by the elderly man who believed in her potential. The restaurant is bustling with activity, the sounds of sizzling pans and cheerful chatter filling the air. As she steps inside, she feels a rush of adrenaline. This is it, her chance to prove herself. With a mix of excitement and fear, Sarah accepts the offer. She works hard, proving herself day by day. The old man becomes her mentor, guiding her through the challenges of her new role. In her first few weeks, Sarah immerses herself in the fast-paced environment of the restaurant. She learns the ins and outs of the business, from managing inventory to understanding customer preferences. The old man, Henry, is always nearby, offering guidance and support. He shares his wisdom, teaching her the importance of building relationships with both staff and customers. Sarah is seen shadowing Henry as he interacts with the kitchen staff, discussing the day's specials and encouraging them to put their best foot forward. She watches intently, taking notes and absorbing every piece of advice. Months pass, and Sarah blossoms into a successful manager. She learns the ins and outs of the business, and her life begins to change in ways she never imagined. As the weeks turn into months, Sarah's confidence grows. She begins to take charge, organizing staff meetings and encouraging her team to share their ideas. One day, she gathers everyone in the dining area, her heart racing with anticipation. Sarah, enthusiastically, let's work together to make this place the best it can be. I believe in all of you. Her colleagues look up at her, a mix of surprise and admiration in their eyes. They can see the passion radiating from her, and it inspires them to contribute their own ideas. The atmosphere in the restaurant shifts. There's a newfound energy as everyone feels empowered to make a difference. A montage unfolds, showcasing Sarah's transformation. She's seen confidently directing staff during busy shifts, her laughter mingling with the sounds of clinking dishes. She engages with customers, remembering their names and preferences, creating a warm and welcoming environment. Sarah's dedication and hard work begin to pay off. The restaurant flourishes under her management, and she finds joy in every aspect of her job. She implements new ideas, such as themed nights and community events, drawing in more customers and creating a sense of belonging. One evening, as the restaurant hosts a local art night, Sarah stands back and watches the scene unfold. Local artists display their work on the walls, and patrons mingle, sipping wine and enjoying the vibrant atmosphere. She feels a swell of pride as she sees the community come together, and she knows that this is what she envisioned for her cafe all along. Sarah moves through the crowd, chatting with guests and encouraging them to support the local artists. She feels a sense of fulfillment, knowing that she's creating a space where people can connect and share their passions. With each passing day, Sarah's dream of creating a community hub becomes a reality. She realizes that her journey is not just about running a restaurant, it's about building relationships and fostering a sense of belonging. However, the path to success is not without its challenges. One day, the restaurant faces a sudden staffing shortage due to unexpected illnesses. Panic sets in as the dinner rush approaches, and Sarah feels the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. Sarah gathers her team, her expression serious but determined. "Sarah, we can do this. Let's pull together and support each other. We've faced challenges before, and we can get through this one too." Her words resonate with the staff, and they rally together, working as a cohesive unit. Sarah jumps in to help wherever she can, taking orders, serving food, and ensuring that every customer feels valued. The night is hectic, but they manage to pull through, and by the end of the evening they're exhausted but triumphant. Through the challenges, Sarah learns the importance of teamwork and resilience. She realizes that leadership is not just about giving orders, it's about inspiring others and fostering a sense of camaraderie. As the months continue to pass, Sarah's relationship with Henry deepens. He becomes not just a mentor, but a father figure, offering guidance and support as she navigates the complexities of her new role. They share meals together, discussing everything from business strategies to personal stories. As Sarah reflects on her journey, she realizes that a single act of kindness can create ripples of change in ways she never imagined. The connection she formed with the old man not only transformed his life, but also opened doors to her own dreams. Thank you for joining us on this heartwarming journey. If you enjoyed Sarah's story, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting tales that remind us of the power of kindness. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest gestures can lead to the biggest changes in our lives. What if a simple act of kindness changed your life forever? On a stormy night when the world feels heavy and burdensome, Emily, a struggling waitress, finds herself in an unexpected situation. As she walks home after a long shift, she hears the sound of a car sputtering to a halt. Curiosity piqued, she approaches the vehicle, only to discover a handsome stranger wrestling with the engine. Little does she know, this chance encounter will set off a chain of events that will alter the course of both their lives. Jake, a millionaire in search of his long-lost bride, is not just any man. He's a man with a past filled with heartache and longing. As Emily offers her help, she unwittingly steps into a world of wealth and mystery, unaware that her kindness could lead to a love story that transcends their social differences. Tonight, under the rain-soaked sky, fate has a plan, and it all begins with a simple act of compassion. Meet Emily, a waitress at a small diner in the heart of the city. Every day she juggles multiple tables, her smile brightening the day of every customer who walks through the door. But behind that cheerful facade lies a story of struggle and resilience. Emily works tirelessly to support herself, dreaming of a life beyond the confines of her current reality. With bills piling up and her aspirations feeling like distant stars, she often wonders if she'll ever escape the cycle of poverty. Emily's life revolves around the diner, where she's known for her kindness and dedication. She remembers the faces of her regular customers, each with their own stories and struggles. There's Mr. Thompson, the retired schoolteacher, who shares tales of his adventures, and Mrs. Jenkins, the elderly woman who comes in every Tuesday for her favorite pie. These connections give Emily a sense of purpose, but they also remind her of the dreams she's put on hold. As the diner empties and the neon lights flicker outside, Emily prepares to head home. The streets are slick with rain, and the air is thick with the scent of wet asphalt. She pulls her coat tighter around her, wishing for warmth and comfort. Tonight, like many others, she walks the familiar route home, her mind racing with thoughts of what tomorrow might bring. Little does she know, fate has a different plan in store for her. As she walks, she hears a strange noise coming from the side of the road. Curiosity piqued, she approaches a car parked under a flickering streetlight. The hood is up and a man is leaning over the engine, frustration etched on his face. Meet Jake, a successful entrepreneur who seems to have it all: wealth, charm, and ambition. But beneath his polished exterior lies a heart burdened by loss. He's been searching for his bride, a woman who mysteriously disappeared years ago, leaving him with unanswered questions and a longing that haunts him. Tonight, he's just trying to fix his car, unaware that his life is about to change forever. Emily, cheerfully, "Need some help?" Jake, looking up, surprised. "I could use it. I'm not exactly a car expert." Despite her own challenges, Emily decides to lend a hand. She's not a mechanic, but she knows a thing or two about cars from her father. As they work together, they share stories about their lives, each revealing pieces of their hearts. Emily learns that Jake is in town for a business meeting, but his mind is elsewhere. He's been searching for his lost love, a woman he met years ago, and the memories haunt him. Emily, on the other hand, shares her dreams of becoming a mechanic and owning her own shop one day. In this moment of vulnerability, they find solace in each other's company. Emily, "See, I told you we could do it." Jake, smiling, "Thanks, Emily. You saved my night." As they finish up, Jake offers to take Emily out for coffee as a thank you. She hesitates, unsure if she should accept, but the warmth in his eyes convinces her. This spontaneous invitation feels like a breath of fresh air, a chance to escape her routine, if only for a little while. Little do they know, this chance encounter Emily, grinning, "See, I told you we could do it." Jake, smiling back, "Thanks, Emily. You really saved my night." With the engine purring to life, a sense of accomplishment washes over them. Emily feels a rush of pride. She may not be a professional mechanic, but in this moment she feels capable and strong. Jake, on the other hand, is struck by how refreshing it is to meet someone so genuine in a world filled with pretense. As they make their way to the coffee shop, the conversation flows easily. Emily learns that Jake is in town for a business meeting, but his mind is elsewhere. He shares snippets of his life, but there's a shadow in his eyes, a longing for someone he lost. Jake, "I've been searching for someone for a long time. It's complicated." Emily, curious, "Complicated how?" Jake, sighing, "I met her years ago. We had something special, but she disappeared without a trace. I've been trying to find her ever since." Emily's heart aches for him. She can see the pain behind his confident exterior. In that moment, she realizes that they are both searching for something: connection, understanding, and love. Emily, "That sounds really tough. I can't imagine what you must be going through." Jake nods, grateful for her empathy. He finds himself opening up more than he intended, sharing memories of the woman he lost and the dreams they once shared. Emily listens intently, her heart swelling with compassion. As the night wears on, they share laughter and stories, each revealing pieces of their hearts. Emily talks about her dreams of becoming a mechanic, her passion igniting as she describes the car she hopes to restore one day. Jake, in turn, shares his experiences in the business world, but he emphasizes the emptiness that often accompanies success. Emily: it's funny how we both have these dreams, yet they feel so far away sometimes. Jake: yeah, but sometimes it just takes one moment to change everything. Just as the moment feels perfect, Jake receives a phone call. His expression changes as he answers, the weight of responsibility returning to his shoulders. Jake: seriously? Yes, I understand. I'll be there soon. After the call, Jake's demeanor shifts. He reveals that he has to leave for a meeting that could change everything for his business. Emily feels a pang of disappointment, wishing they had more time together. Emily: of course, I understand. Business comes first. Jake, apologetically: I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for the night to end like this, but I want to see you again. With a promise to reconnect, Jake rushes out, leaving Emily with a whirlwind of emotions. She can't shake the feeling that this encounter was more than just a chance meeting. As she walks home, the city feels different, brighter, more alive. Days pass, and Emily returns to her routine at the diner, but her mind is elsewhere. She tries to focus on her work, but thoughts of Jake linger. She wonders if he'll really call her. Meanwhile, Jake is consumed by thoughts of Emily, realizing that their connection was unlike anything he had experienced before. Despite his busy schedule, Jake can't help but think about the girl who fixed his car and brought light into his life. The memory of her laughter and the warmth of their conversation linger in his mind, making it difficult to focus on the meeting at hand. Colleague 1: Jake, are you with us? We need your input on this proposal. Jake, snapping back to reality: yeah, sorry, let's go over the numbers again. Jake tries to shake off the distraction, but the thought of Emily keeps pulling him back. He realizes that he hasn't felt this way about anyone in a long time. The connection they shared in that coffee shop was something he didn't want to lose. After the meeting, Jake decides to take a leap of faith. He picks up his phone and dials Emily's number, his heart racing with anticipation. Emily, to herself: Jake. With a mix of excitement and nerves, she answers the call. Emily: hey, Jake, it's so good to hear from you. Jake, smiling: hey, Emily, I've been thinking about you. I know it's last minute, but I'd love to take you out for dinner tonight. What do you say? Emily: I'd love that. Where should we meet? Jake: how about that Italian place downtown? I hear their pasta is amazing. After confirming the details, they hang up, and Emily can't help but smile. She feels a rush of excitement, a feeling she hasn't experienced in a long time. As she finishes her shift, she can hardly contain her anticipation for the evening ahead. Emily wants to look her best for Jake. She finally settles on a simple yet elegant dress that makes her feel confident. As she applies a touch of makeup, she glances at herself in the mirror, reminding herself to be genuine and true to who she is. Meanwhile, Jake is equally nervous. He wants to make a good impression on Emily, not just as a businessman, but as a man who genuinely cares. He thinks back to their last encounter, the way she listened to him and how easy it was to talk to her. The restaurant is bustling with energy, filled with couples enjoying their meals. Jake sits at a table, his heart racing as he waits for Emily. He can't shake the feeling that tonight could change everything. Jake, smiling: you look stunning. Emily, blushing: thank you, you look great too. As they sit down, the conversation flows effortlessly. They share stories, laughter, and dreams, each moment drawing them closer together. Emily feels a sense of ease with Jake that she hasn't felt with anyone else. Emily, I can't believe how easy it is to talk to you. It feels like we've known each other forever. Jake, I feel the same way. It's rare to find someone you can connect with so quickly. Just as the evening seems perfect, Jake's phone buzzes on the table. Jake, apologetically, excuse me for a moment. Jake picks up the phone, and as he reads the message, his heart sinks. It's from his business partner, reminding him of an urgent meeting that he can't afford to miss. He feels a pang of disappointment, knowing that this moment with Emily is slipping away. Emily, everything okay? Jake, sighing. Yeah, it's just work. I didn't realize how late it was getting. I'm really sorry, Emily. Jake's mind races. He doesn't want the night to end, but he knows he has responsibilities to attend to. He looks at Emily, who is trying to mask her disappointment with a brave smile. Emily, it's all right, I understand. Work is important. As they walk out of the restaurant, the night air is cool and refreshing. Jake turns to Emily, his eyes filled with sincerity. Jake, I really enjoyed tonight. You're incredible, Emily. I want to see you again. Emily, smiling. I'd like that too. With a promise to reconnect, they exchange a warm hug before parting ways. As Emily walks home, her heart is a mix of hope and uncertainty. She can't shake the feeling that something special is blossoming between them. Days turn into weeks, and Emily finds herself daydreaming about Jake more often than not. Their connection lingers in her thoughts, and she wonders if he will reach out again. Meanwhile, Jake is equally consumed by thoughts of Emily, realizing that their brief time together has left a lasting impression. Jake's life is filled with meetings and business deals, but he can't shake the feeling that something is missing. He decides to take a leap of faith and reach out to Emily again. Text message. Hey Emily, I've been thinking about you. Can we meet up again soon? Emily's phone buzzes and her heart races as she sees Jake's name on the screen. She quickly replies, her excitement bubbling over. Text message. Absolutely, I'd love to. When they meet, the chemistry is undeniable. They spend the day talking, laughing, and sharing their dreams. Emily feels alive in a way she never thought possible. Jake, Emily, I know we haven't known each other long, but I feel a connection with you that I can't ignore. You've brought so much joy into my life. Emily, blushing. I feel the same way, Jake. It's like I've known you forever. Just as the moment feels perfect, Jake takes a deep breath, his heart racing. He knows he has to be honest with her. Jake, there's something I need to tell you. I haven't been completely honest about who I am. Emily, what do you mean? Jake, I'm not just a regular guy. I'm a millionaire and I own several businesses. I've been searching for someone special and I didn't want you to see me as just my wealth. Emily's eyes widen in surprise, but she quickly regains her composure. She realizes that Jake's wealth doesn't change how she feels about him. Emily, that doesn't change anything for me, Jake. I like you for who you are, not what you have. Jake, that means the world to me, Emily. I've been so afraid that my past would overshadow what we have. Emily smiles, feeling a warmth spread through her. She realizes that Jake's vulnerability only deepens her feelings for him. They stand in the park, surrounded by the beauty of blooming flowers, and in that moment, everything feels right. Emily, I appreciate you being honest with me. It's refreshing to meet someone who values connection over status. As they continue to talk, the conversation flows effortlessly. They share their hopes and dreams, and Emily opens up about her struggles and aspirations. Jake listens intently, captivated by her passion and determination. Days turn into weeks, and their relationship blossoms. They explore the city together, visiting art galleries, trying new restaurants and enjoying quiet moments in the park. Emily feels a sense of freedom she hasn't experienced before, and Jake finds solace in Emily's genuine spirit. With each passing day, their bond deepens. Emily encourages Jake to take time for himself, to step away from the pressures of his business. In turn, Jake inspires Emily to pursue her dreams of becoming a mechanic, offering to help her enroll in a local trade school. With Jake's support, Emily takes the leap and enrolls in a mechanic course. She feels empowered, ready to chase her dreams with newfound determination. Jake watches her flourish, proud of the woman she is becoming. One evening, as they sit on the rooftop of Jake's apartment, overlooking the city skyline, he turns to her, his expression serious. "Jake, Emily, I've never felt this way about anyone before. You've changed my life in ways I can't explain." Emily, blushing. "I feel the same, Jake. You've shown me that I can dream bigger." Jake takes a deep breath, knowing that this moment is pivotal. He reaches for her hand, his heart racing. "Jake, I want to take this leap with you. I want to build a future together." Emily, "Are you saying what I think you're saying?" Jake, "Yes. I want to be with you, Emily. I want to share my life with you, no matter the challenges we face." Emily feels a rush of emotions, joy, excitement, and a hint of fear. She knows that love is not without its challenges, but she also knows that they can face anything together. Emily, "I want that too, Jake. I want to build a life with you." As their relationship deepens, they face challenges together. Jake's business demands his attention, and Emily's studies require dedication. But through it all, they support each other, proving that love can thrive even in the busiest of lives. Months pass, and Emily graduates from her mechanic course with flying colors. Jake is there, cheering her on, pride shining in his eyes. With her newfound skills, Emily lands a job at a local auto shop, fulfilling her dream of working with cars. She feels empowered, and Jake's unwavering support fuels her ambition. One evening, as they celebrate her new job, Jake takes Emily to a beautiful restaurant overlooking the city. The atmosphere is romantic, and the mood is perfect. As they enjoy their meal, Jake looks across the table at Emily, his heart full of admiration. He reflects on how far they've come since that fateful night when she helped him with his car. The connection they forged in the rain has blossomed into a beautiful relationship built on trust, support, and love. Jake, Emily, I can't express how grateful I am for you. You've changed my life in ways I never thought possible. Emily, smiling. And you've changed mine, Jake. I never imagined I could pursue my dreams and find love at the same time. With their hearts open and their futures intertwined, they toast to new beginnings, celebrating not just their love, but the journey they've taken together. They've faced challenges, but each obstacle has only strengthened their bond. After dinner, they take a stroll through the city, hand in hand, soaking in the vibrant energy around them. The streets are alive with music and laughter, and for the first time in a long time, both feel a sense of belonging. Emily, do you remember that night when we first met? I never would have guessed it would lead to this. Jake, neither did I. But sometimes the universe has a way of bringing people together when they least expect it. As they walk, Jake stops and turns to Emily, his expression serious yet tender. Jake, Emily, I want to take this a step further. I want to build a life with you, not just as partners, but as a team. I want to support your dreams, and I want you to be by my side as we navigate this journey together. Emily, are you saying what I think you're saying? Jake, yes. I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me? Emily, yes, 1,000 times, yes. In that moment, surrounded by the city's glow, they embrace, sealing their promise to each other. Their love story, born from a simple act of kindness, culminates in a commitment that will last a lifetime. Months later, they stand together in a beautiful garden, surrounded by friends and family, ready to say their vows. The sun shines brightly, symbolizing the love and happiness that has blossomed between them. As they exchange vows, they reflect on their journey, the struggles, the laughter, and the love that brought them together. They promise to support each other through thick and thin, to chase their dreams together, and to always cherish the bond they share. Jake, I promise to love you and to support you, and to always be your partner in this journey of life. Emily, I promise to stand by you, to encourage you, and to love you unconditionally. With their hearts full of love and hope, Emily and Jake embark on a new chapter of their lives together. They know that challenges may come, but they are ready to face them hand in hand. Together, they create a life filled with love, laughter, and purpose. Emily's kindness not only changed her life, but also helped Jake rediscover what truly matters. They learn that love is not just about grand gestures, but about the small moments that make life beautiful. Emily and Jake's story reminds us that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can lead to the biggest changes in our lives. It teaches us that love. As Emily and Jake continue their journey together, their story serves as a powerful reminder of the impact of kindness and connection. But their journey doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. And we want to hear from you. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey of love and transformation. We hope you enjoyed Emily and Jake's story as much as we loved bringing it to life. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever had a moment where a simple act of kindness changed your life or someone else's? Maybe you helped a stranger in need, or perhaps someone helped you during a tough time. We believe that every story matters, and we want to create a space where we can share these beautiful moments together. Share your stories in the comments below. We'll be reading through them and featuring some of your amazing experiences in our next video. Let's inspire each other with tales of compassion and connection. If you found this story inspiring, give us a thumbs up. Your support helps us reach more people and spread the message of kindness. Together, we can create a ripple effect that encourages others to act with compassion. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories like this one. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever we upload new content. We have so many exciting stories lined up that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned for our next video where we explore more incredible stories of unexpected friendships and life-changing moments. We'll dive into tales that remind us of the beauty of human connection and the power of love. Join our community on social media. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for behind-the-scenes content, sneak peeks of upcoming videos, and more opportunities to share your stories. We love hearing from you and connecting with our audience. Let's create a community where kindness thrives. Share this video on your social media and tag us. Use the hashtag #KindnessJourney so we can see your posts and share them with our community. Together, we can inspire others to spread kindness in their own lives. Remember, no act of kindness is too small, whether it's helping a neighbor, volunteering your time, or simply offering a smile to someone who needs it. Every little bit counts. Let's make the world a better place, one good deed at a time. As we wrap up today's video, we want to leave you with this thought. Kindness is a choice we can all make. It doesn't require wealth or status. It simply requires a willing heart. So, let's choose kindness every day and watch how it transforms our lives and the lives of those around us. Thank you for being a part of our journey today. We can't wait to hear your stories and see how you choose to spread kindness in your own lives. Until next time, keep shining your light and making a difference. Remember, your story matters. Let's continue to inspire each other and create a world filled with love and compassion. See you in the next video. As we reflect on Emily and Jake's journey, we are reminded of the profound impact that kindness and connection can have on our lives. What began as a simple act of helping a stranger turned into a beautiful love story, illustrating that sometimes the most unexpected encounters can lead to the most meaningful relationships. This story teaches us that love knows no boundaries. Emily, a hard-working waitress with dreams of becoming a mechanic, and Jake, a millionaire searching for his lost love, found common ground in their shared experiences and vulnerabilities. Their relationship blossomed not because of wealth or status, but through genuine connection, support, and understanding. In a world that often feels divided, Emily and Jake's story serves as a reminder that kindness can bridge gaps and bring people together. Each of us has the power to make a difference, no matter how small our actions may seem. A smile, a helping hand, or a listening ear can change someone's day and perhaps even their life. We encourage you to think about the moments in your life where kindness has made an impact. Have you ever helped someone in need? Or perhaps someone helped you during a difficult time? Your stories matter, and they can inspire others to act with compassion. Thank you for joining us on this journey of love and kindness. We hope Emily and Jake's story has touched your heart and inspired you to spread kindness in your own life. Remember, every act of kindness counts, and together we can create a ripple effect that transforms our communities. Until next time, let's continue to choose kindness, embrace love, and support one another. Your story is part of a larger narrative, and together we can make the world a better place.
Disclaimer: this story is a work of fiction and is intended for entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. The themes and characters are created to inspire compassion and understanding towards those facing challenges in life. If you or someone you know is struggling, please seek professional help. Remember, it's okay to ask for support, and you are not alone in your journey.